life, love, relationships.
Wait, we're gonna give away all our secrets?
Welcome to the Man Perspective
With K-Man.
and the Dawn.
Welcome to the Man Perspective. Today we're talking about, have you ever dated someone with a substance abuse problem? Whether it be drugs, alcohol, whatever.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I dated a chick who, she drinks a lot. Every night she comes home, she drinks. You know, she couldn't stop. And I tried to stop her. And I think one time I tried to take the bottle from her. Oh, man, she wanted to fight me, man. I was like, wow. I said, it means that much to you? And you know a person has an alcohol abuse problem is when they're drinking early in the morning. That should be the first red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She drinks early in the morning. Soon as she wakes up, boom, she got a bottle right there. That's when you know it's bad. But we didn't last too long because, you know, that overtook everything. So that was the end of that. What about you? You ever had that problem?
Yeah, I dated a girl many years ago that also had a drinking problem. She did exactly that. I mean, she'd crack open a bottle first thing in the morning. We'd drink like a gallon of wine at night. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the idea. She was a sweet person until she started drinking. And then she actually got very, I don't want to say abusive, but more violent with both words and throwing, I guess, slaps, we'll say. And it was a shame, too, because like I said, she was really a sweet person, and I did like her. It's just after a while, I couldn't deal with the drinking anymore. It was like a Tuesday night, I'm getting ready to go to bed, and you're polishing off a gallon of wine. I can't do it. It lasted maybe 6 or 8 months, but, I mean, it felt a lot longer just because of the situation.
I got one for you. Have you ever dated a woman who was physically abusive? Or I would say the guy was physically abusive towards her, and then now you're dating her.
I can't say that I ever had that happen. As far as physically abusive goes, the woman that I dated who had the drinking problem, she got a little physical every now and then. Nothing too serious, but I mean, it was still there. I can't say I have ever dated someone, though, who was in a prior abusive relationship.
Now, I've dated a woman who came from or came out of a physical abuse relationship. Now, you want to hear something funny? Well, it ain't funny, but it's kind of strange. She came out of a physical abusive relationship, right? Guy used to beat on her, all kinds of stuff, you know. It was so bad, it got to the point where he would call her, like, on the hour, every hour, and if she didn't pick up the phone, boom, she had a beating, right?
Damn.
Yeah, it was real tough. And she went to the hospital a couple times, you know, broke a jaw, this and that.
We're in winter. It's cold outside. So cuddle up on the couch, light a fire, and tune in to the Man Perspective.
Hope you got your pillows and your blanket. Snuggle up with the Man Perspective and learn all you can about your significant other. The Man Perspective with K-Man.
And the Dom.
Nice young lady, pretty young lady, okay? And then I dated her, right? Now get this. Even though she went through that physical abuse with this guy, would you believe that she turned it around and tried to be physical abusive towards me? And let me tell you how.
Wow.
What she would do was she would call me on the hour every hour. If I didn't pick up that phone, you understand? It was an argument. Like, why you didn't pick up the phone? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm sitting there saying, no, what's going on here? You know, why are you... The same kind of abuse that this guy's giving you didn't turned around, and now you giving that to me?
Wow.
I couldn't understand. Yeah, it was deep. I couldn't understand it. I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. How is it that you just came out of an abusive relationship, and at the same time, now you're going to try to be abusive towards me? So she would call me, blow my phone up. If I didn't pick up, oh my God. Now, one time, I called her, right? And she told me, you know, call 12 o'clock. But then I got caught in a meeting at work, right? And I called, I don't know, 12:04, 12:05, you know, 5 minutes later. Would you believe she thought that I was going to beat the hell out of her because she didn't pick up the phone? So that physical abusiveness got her mental.
Yeah.
And it caused her to do the reverse on me. And I just found that very intriguing because of the simple fact that I wasn't abusive towards her, but it's because what she went through and how she went through and what this guy put her through, now it caused her to do the same to me, which I found very strange, because usually if a woman's in that predicament, they kind of, they're a little bit more calmer, or, more nice and, friendly and so forth. But she turned around and was like really, really abusive, like towards me. Then it got to the point where then she started hitting me, and not realizing it, like, because I guess the guy used to beat her so much that she would turn around and hit me, like playful hit, but she didn't realize that she was actually putting her hand on me.
It was like a natural reaction?
Yeah, it was a natural
wow.
And I got to the point where I was like, you hitting me, right? Like, you're like, what's going on here? Like, you like beating the hell out of me right now. What did I do? You know what I'm saying? Now, I know you want to be, play fight, but what's going on? And it was just, like you said, it just came natural to her. Like, automatically she started hitting me in the stomach, hit me in the chest, hit me in the... I'm like, what are you doing? But because she was abusive or was abused, she now turned around and tried to do the same to me. And I just found that like, wow, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty deep, man. I couldn't get too much into that relationship.
No.
And but it was scary. It really was. That was a scary situation, because she was been abused for so long that now she done turned around and tried to do the same to me. And I just like, I'm not having this. You know what I mean? I said, I can't. Yeah. But that was pretty deep. There's no more fussing about what's outside. I hope you got that air conditioning blazing, because it's definitely hot outside. And we about to bring that heat on The Man Perspective with K-Man and The Don.
Unless, like, psychologically, that was her way of, like, taking back control. Only using the wrong outlet for it.
Well, you know what? They want that control back.
Yeah.
And I think because I wasn't the type, she was now taking on the characteristics of what was done to her, and now she's using that against me. I think that was probably what was happening, but that was like a real strange...
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, strange relationship. But sometimes you may get into that situation. That's why, you got to really know who you're dating, check out who you want to be with, and get an understanding of that person's background.
Yeah.
Have they been abused? Have they ever been physically abused or sexually abused? And verbally abusive too. Sometimes the verbal abuse can be just as bad as the physical abuse.
Yeah.
The mentalness, the telling them, you can't do this, or you ain't this and you ain't that, and you a nobody, and you this, and who are you, and you smaller than dirt. And that hurts, just the verbalness,
Yeah.
just verbally abusing them, cursing at them all the time, and can never do anything right, calling them stupid. That can do a lot more damage than you putting your hand on a woman.
That can.
And I don't condone any of that, but it does. That verbal abuse is tough. It's a mental game. And some guys can really play that mental game on a woman to get their attention, Yeah, I even wrote a book on it one time, man, called The Player's Manual. And it talks about what I did is I did a little research, right?
You know who can cure coronavirus? The Man Perspective.
We got the vaccine, so tune in to The Man Perspective with K-Man
and The Don.
I was talking to people who are abusive to women, right? And I also was talking, and this is how I did my research. I would talk to like pimps, for example, guys who pimp out the women and prostitute the women. And you got to hear some of the things that they say in controlling what they use, these things to control women. And a lot of it is not the physicalness. A lot of it is the mental thing, the screaming, the yelling, the cursing at them, you're getting them high, getting them drugged up and doing all these things and really talking to. Because like you sit back and I remember there was one show that I saw about pimps, and there was this one lady who she was so scared of her pimp, right? That this woman would stand out, I believe it was in Chicago, right? She would stand out on a corner, minus 15 degree below weather, in like, I don't know, a bikini, but with a coat on. And even if you got a coat on, you're still freezing because you're in a bikini, for Christ's sake. And she would truck herself up and down that street to make as much money as she can for her pimp.
Wow.
Now, what kind of power can this guy as a pimp do to her besides drugging her? to cause her to do this kind of thing on a regular basis. And she was proud to do it. Like, she was like, yeah, I'm do this for my pimp because I want him to have the best car and the best clothes and the best this and best that. And you're like, wow, what kind of power do you have mentally over a woman to cause this woman to stand out there for 8, 12, 15 hours a day
Damn.
selling your body in the middle of the cold? That's abusive.
Yeah.
That's abusive. But they have these little techniques that they use, and guys do the same thing. That's how sometimes these women get caught with certain guys and puts them in this situation where it becomes very, very abusive, and they don't know what to do because they say, you know, he was so nice when I met him. But now all of a sudden, you know, if I say something wrong, he smacks me. Or if he says, hey, you know, I called you, you didn't pick up, boom, that was a beating. If you didn't come home when he tell you to come home, that's another beating. And it just built on and on throughout the years or throughout the weeks or throughout the months. And next thing you know, you find yourself in an abusive relationship, you know, and then don't know how to get out of it because you didn't think he would put you there. But he did. He just played those mind games. And that's all it was, just mind games, you know. Yeah. But hit us up and let us know what you think. You know, themanperspective@gmail.com.
Or use the hashtag #TheManPerspective.
themanperspective@gmail.com.
That's right.
Now you heard our perspective. It's time to hear yours. Get at us at themanperspective@gmail.com.
Or use the hashtag #TheManPerspective.